Hey guys, welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I am your host, Knick-Knack, hanging out with you guys tonight. Did you guys know that the average gestation or pregnancy of an African elephant is just right around 20 months? That's right, 20 months. That is just 2 months more than the time it took me from pre-order to shipment of my premium format Luke Skywalker in Bespin fatigues that I have with you guys right here. That's right, 20 months. That's a year and 8 months if you're counting. That's like 1 3/4 of a trip around the sun for the Earth. That is the time it took to get this item in hand for me from the date I pre-ordered it back on June 16th of 2017. I had a whole rant video on this earlier in the year, and you guys can go back and check that out by just clicking that card up there if you guys want to see my full feelings on this and my frustrations about this. And I know this is a shared frustration that I have and many other collectors have who have purchased this item and had to wait and wait and wait. Well, the wait is finally over. This thing's actually been sitting in my house for just a couple days now, for about 4 or 5 days now. I've been waiting to crack it open to review it for you guys, and I was going to do it this weekend, but, you know, a lot of YouTubers say, well, life got in the way. Well, life didn't get in the way, guys. I was just being really freaking lazy. But that's okay. I'm here today, and I'm going to unbox this thing for you guys. Finally, we're finally going to get a look at this thing after all this time. And I got to say, after having to wait over a year longer than it was anticipated for, because it was due out, I believe, of March or April of last year, 2018, so waiting almost an entire calendar year past when it was supposed to be due out originally, I gotta say my expectations are sky high for this piece. It better be amazing. This thing better blow my frickin' socks off, or I'm gonna be gravely disappointed. So guys, what you guys are about to see is one of the most, probably one of the most unforgiving reviews I've ever given. And I don't mean that, I don't take that lightly, but you know, I'm not talking about, you know, Primal Clash action figures here for $14.99. I'm talking about a $559 supposedly museum quality piece that is sitting in this box right here, and I expect it to be as such. So we will see. A museum quality piece that took over a year in delays. So Sideshow Collectibles, I'm looking at you guys right now. This had better be frickin' perfect.
Knick-Knack's Plastic Planet. With your host, it's Knick-Knack!
Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. As you guys can see, during the interlude there, I have unboxed the 1/4 scale premium format Luke Skywalker. This is the exclusive version from Sideshow Collectibles, which I believe means he comes with an added accessory, which I believe is his laser blaster. So that's kind of cool. Nevertheless, it is a very, very large box. This is my can of beer. This is a, I believe this is a 16 ouncer I got right next to here. And as you can see right next to it, it is quite towering over my delicious Miller Lite. Nevertheless, we're going to crack this guy open for you guys just as soon as I give you a little 360 of the box, even though there's not a lot to see here, not a lot of fanfare, but, you know, it wouldn't be a review if you didn't get to see the box, right? All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at that box right now. Alrighty, so as I said, this is one big-ass box, very tall, very almost sort of rectangular. It's not very deep. As you can see, it's actually, I would expect it to be deeper than this. It's only maybe a hand's length, and I don't have real big hands. So, you know, so anyway, here's a nice 360 of it. As you can see, the front is the same as the back. So there's really not much to look at here. And I need another set of hands to be doing this. There's the side again. And we're right back where we started. Alright, so anyway, that was lame. Alright, so there's nothing really to see here. Your standard average box. Let's get to what's important. Let's get this thing open for you guys right now. Alrighty, and here is the outside of the styrofoam carton, which contains the premium format 1/4 scale Luke Skywalker from Bespin. You know what? It's funny. You know, you would expect me to be more excited about this, and maybe I should be. This is a high quality figure that I put flex payments on for several months, and is finally here after 20 months of waiting. But I don't know, it's sort of anticlimactic at this point. It kind of reminds me when I graduated from college a semester and a half late. You know, you graduate from college, you should be stoked, but I was just kind of freaking relieved I passed that statistical research class. Yikes, you know? Anyway, alright, well, let's get this thing open. Alrighty, well, I've gotten it all the tape unsealed here, and I haven't seen it yet, so just so you guys know, I mean, this is going to be kind of live as I unbox this, so as I like to say, my first impressions of this will be yours as well. I haven't seen this piece yet in person, in hand. You know, very often collectibles look very differently, how they're seen online and in pictures versus how they actually look in hand. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping this is one of the cases where it looks sizably better than it did online, because I was not really uberly impressed with what I saw online as far as on Sideshow.com's webpage and whatnot. Even though I ordered the thing, even though I committed to buy it, and you know, I never canceled my order because I kind of stubbornly stuck to it, just out of my love for Luke Skywalker, really, who is honestly one of my all-time favorite characters in all of fiction. So anyway, let's get this guy open. Let's check it out. I think I got it unsealed. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Hopefully I'm not pulling anything out. Got a little tape here. Kind of trying to do this with one hand and not spill my beer. So there it is. I think the batteries came out, or the batteries are sort of loosely in there. There's the stand. There's Luke's legs. There's his midsection there. There's his face sculpt. Blaster, which I believe is the exclusive. Or maybe the blaster in hand here is the exclusive. And there's some, I don't know what that is. And the body. So, alright guys. According to the instructions, first thing to do is read them right side up. And also to, looks like to put Luke on there. I don't know, I think you'd want to put the batteries in first, but it looks like the batteries go inside of his, I'm not sure what I'm reading there. Into his midsection. The batteries go into his midsection. Well, that's kind of bizarre. Alright, well, let's get this thing going, I guess. And what I'm really disappointed at is, hey, Sideshow, where's the frickin' AC adapter? Why can't this thing plug into the wall like the Darth Vader one I have upstairs? Yeah, you know what? We used to have a joke about Kmart, that when the birds flew over Kmart, they used to go, cheap, 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 cheap. Well, that's what I'm thinking of use right now, Sideshow. Where's my AC adapter? God damn it. Alright, let's do this. Alrighty, so first things first, there's the base to this thing, and looks like I got number 189 out of 1600. That's a nice number, nice low number. Nevertheless, if I can do this without dropping it, as you can see, there's the base, and the base doesn't light up, which kind of sucks, because the base should light up, because after all, we know what the Bespin carbon freezing chamber looks like, and that platform, well, that lit up from the bottom. So, yeah, where's the batteries for that? I guess there aren't any. Yep. What's the theme here, guys? When the birds fly over Kmart, what do they say? That's right. They go cheap, 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 cheap. Alrighty, so first thing is first, I have attached the legs and midsection, I guess, as it would be, onto the stand here. Again, the stand does have a nice weight to it, very polystone feel. I did notice immediately that the strap here to his blaster belt, or his holster, I should say, his holster strap, has a very, very weak magnet to it. We encountered this on Uncle Pat's premium format Han Solo as well. If you recall, if you watched that video, if you didn't, go ahead and check out that video as well if you want to see our impressions of that premium format. But nevertheless, it's a very, very weak magnet. It does, if you work on it, it does, you know, if you get it just right, it does stay on, as I just did. But it's very weak, and I'm concerned that the blaster pistol, when put in the holster, the weight will not support this. We will see. That was the problem we encountered with Uncle Pat's premium format Han Solo, Bespin Han Solo. We'll see if that's a similar issue with this one. I did notice that the blaster feels kind of light. This is sort of lightweight. It's not polystone. It really kind of feels plastic to me, and a lightweight plastic at that, which
normal, under normal circumstances, being this was a this was a $559 action figure, and I just dropped it, so it's probably a good thing it was plastic. I would have broke it. But being that this is a premium item, that I expect a little more than just flimsy plastic, but maybe in this case, that is actually a good thing, just due to the weight issues of putting this in the holster. So let's see if that is the case. Alrighty, so yeah, that is an improvement there actually over the premium format Han Solo. When I did put the blaster in, I had to get it down real snug into that holster, but it does fit nicely. The magnet on this strap here is nice, and the magnet holding up the holster strap on his leg or on his hip held. So that's a good thing. So far so good. That is an improvement over the premium format Han Solo. And sorry for that, Uncle Pat. Looks like that the wait for this may have been partly due to this. Maybe the delay was partly due to having to reconstruct materials so that this worked better. That's just me speculating out of my ass, but that is good. That is good. So far, so good. Let's keep going. Alrighty, so next on the directions says to locate the battery pack and to insert the 3 AAA batteries to their credit. This thing runs on AAA batteries, not those miserable watch or hearing aid batteries, not LR44s or any of that bullshit. So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. The bad news is, here's the battery pack inside of his torso, it looks like, and, well, I gotta go get a little tiny precision screwdriver. Alrighty guys, as you can see, I have removed said battery pack. I really do hate these little tiny, dealing with these little tiny screws. I mean, this is sort of on me, but you know, my tools are always a freaking disorganized mess, and I can never find the right screwdriver. It's either, if I'm looking for a Phillips, all I can find are flat. If I'm looking for a flat, all I can find is Phillips. This one's too small. This one's too big. This one doesn't have enough torque on it. That's totally on me. But nevertheless, that was a pain in the ass to get this battery pack out. But nonetheless, we're gonna insert the batteries into here, and then put them back in here and get the second part of this done. Alrighty guys, so we're back, and I have attached the torso here to the midsection. And, you know, you notice when Sideshow Collectibles does their cute unboxing videos when they're promoting this stuff, you know, they just kind of show them just stacked together like easy cheesy. They don't show you having to rummage through 3 junk drawers in a toolbox to find the right size screwdriver to screw the 3 AAA batteries into the battery pack to put inside of the torso, then having to insert the torso onto the hips, and then having to futz with the soft goods for at least, you know, 5 to 10 minutes to get it just right, and I'm still not even there. When I first put it on, this was all like tugged up, and this was all folded under, and I'm still not even close to getting it to where I want it to. I don't know if that looks right to me. Looks a little off. The belt buckle looks a little off center maybe. I think maybe it's the pose, because he is kind of doing a trunk twist there in the pose. But nevertheless, that's as good as it's going to get for right now, which is not very good. So yeah, I did say I was going to be pretty critical here, guys, and I think I am being fairly critical, but fair as well, considering the price of this piece and the delays in getting it. So anyway, all right, so here we are right now. The batteries are installed. Hopefully I did it right, because I would really hate to have to reopen this guy and have to go through this whole process again just in case I put the batteries in wrong. And coincidentally, or not coincidentally, I should say, as part of this, those batteries better have a really nice long shelf life. I mean, this better not be something I have to do if I accidentally, you know, leave this thing on for a couple hours, is have to, you know, redo this whole process again. Now, I'm hopeful that's the case, because they are AAA commercial, you know, large size batteries, as opposed to, you know, hearing aid batteries or watch batteries. So I'm hopeful that's the case, but you know, I'm not going to be able to honestly give you guys a you know, a review in that information in this review, just because it's not practical at this point. But I'm sure I'll do a follow-up video in the future and let you guys know how these batteries hold up. Alrighty guys, well, moment of truth. What really makes a piece worth its weight in gold, or trash if you will, is really all dependent on the head sculpt, isn't it? And here is the head sculpt to this particular piece. The face looks a little fuller than I would like. I'm not so sure. You know, I've said this time and time again whenever I talk about a Luke Skywalker action figure, whether we're talking about a $5 one or in this case a $559 one. Mark Hamill's always been a hard person to kind of sculpt in different you know, different studio picks and different you know, any kind of reference material. He looks just a little different in every single pick. So anyway, I did have one subscriber / viewer ask what color his eyes were, if they were blue or if they were green, and these look kind of greenish brown to me. And so I don't know if that's right. I don't know. His face looks a little full. He looks like he's been hitting the Krispy Kreme a little too often. But nevertheless, let's just go right to the source material, guys. This is, after all, I am downstairs in the archive room of the Plastic Planet. I do call it the archive room because I've got goddamn near everything down here. So let's dig into the source material. Let's check out the Empire Strikes Back storybook from my childhood. This is a well-loved piece of literature here. This was actually my sister's at one point. You can see we accidentally left a magic marker on it and it got dyed red or something, but nevertheless the pictures in here are solid. There are some amazing studio release pics prior to the film, because this book was actually released prior to The Empire Strikes Back in 1980. My sister got it through a book order through school, and so let's go ahead right now and check out some of those studio pics and to see if this thing holds up. What do you guys think? How are we matching up here? His eyes in the reference pic look a little more blue to me. But you know, they definitely captured the dimpled chin nice. The hair sculpt looks okay. I don't know. I mean, it's decent. The head sculpt's decent, but it could be better. It could be way better, especially for $559. Alrighty, guys, moment of truth. Here he is, all assembled in all of his glory. Here he is, the 1/4 scale Luke Skywalker, Bespin Luke Skywalker from Sideshow Collectibles. Now check it out, the lightsaber on-off switch. This is cute, Sideshow. This is cute. I don't know if I really like it, though, because it feels very, very fragile. Is actually on the lightsaber hilt itself. You push this back activator switch on, and the lightsaber turns on. I actually practiced off camera. I don't would have made great YouTube if I would have broken this damn thing on camera, but I didn't want to do that. So I did practice it just so I knew exactly where to push it, so I wasn't wasting too much of your guys' time here fumbling with this thing. Nevertheless, here it is all lit up for you guys. And I do have studio lights back here, so it is shining over that. So actually, that's not too bad. I mean, I've got forgive me, I do have some blue sheet hung up behind you, blue Star Wars sheets that might be kind of fading or making this blend into that a little bit, but not too bad. There's the contrast. There's it on, and if I can turn it off, there's it off, on. So the light looks good. The lightsaber looks good. That's a nice. It's nice. It's nice. Now, it's not as good as my Darth Vader premium format I have upstairs. It doesn't quite glow like that one does. But it's nice. I'll give it that. It's far superior than some of its predecessors with the more washed out lightsabers back before they were using LEDs in these things, I think. He does look a lot nicer in that respect. So that's good. I'll give the lightsaber a B+. I mean, it's not an A. The Darth Vader one I have upstairs, the Return of the Jedi premium format Darth Vader, I give that one an A. That really is an A- premium format overall. This one, I am leaning towards, if I got to give it a grade, I'm leaning towards C+, B-. You know what? And the pose is still wonky. This has been talked about. I thought maybe it'd look a little better in hand. It's a wonky-ass pose. I mean, I get he's facing off against the Dark Lord of the Sith. You know, from his perspective at the time, the murderer of his father. And, you know, he's going to be kind of walking gingerly into this battle. I understand that. So maybe that was where the sculptor's inspiration was. But to me, I'd rather see him like holding the lightsaber with both hands. Maybe give him some, you know, some battle damage in his face as he's getting all beat to shit. Get some battle damage in his fatigues. I would rather see him, you know, near the end of the battle as opposed to the beginning, which this one is based off of. That might not be as cohesive with him holding the pistol, which I'll show you guys in a second, his blaster pistol. But nevertheless, I think that would look a lot cooler. So anyway, there he is in all of his glory. Let's just show the exclusive, I should say, pistol in his hand and wrap this review up. Alrighty, and here he is with his blaster in hand. The Coors Light can is in there for scaling purposes only. But yeah, nevertheless, looking really pretty good. I almost like him in this pose a little better with the blaster as opposed to the lightsaber, just because it just sort of fits his stance a little better with the blaster. So I think if you got the non-exclusive version of this, you might be a tad more disappointed than I am right now, because I don't believe that comes with this blaster. I think that was a Sideshow exclusive if you got it through SideshowToy.com. Lightsaber hangs real nice. I'll give it that. The non-ignited lightsaber, the lightsaber hilt looks really nice. It's got some weathering on it. as you can see. Looks really pretty good. If I can, I don't know how close I can get in there without the camera futzing out on me. But yeah, it looks pretty good. The blaster itself looks nice. If I can get you guys a good shot of that as well. Looking really pretty nice there. It's a good-looking blaster. Again, I love the weathering. Everything in Star Wars needs to be weathered and used looking. That's part of its charm. And this figure, this statue does kind of bring that out. I wish his fatigues were a little more worn. I wish there was a little more weathering on his fatigues. I don't think he was this clean in the film ever. Nevertheless, not bad. The soft goods are pretty good on this action figure. Again, I'm really disappointed with this stand. I think there was a missing opportunity there. For the cost of this figure, this stand should light up. I'm sorry. The orange is just sort of, it looks very bland. It looks very bland in person. This should be a light up feature. Could you imagine this with the lights out, with the glow of the orange coming up underneath Luke here with his lightsaber on and ignited? How good would that have looked? Slightly different pose, and you'd have an amazing statue, not just a statue. And as it is, this is kind of a statue. Again, I'm not incredibly disappointed. Was it worth the wait? No. Was it worth the $559? No. Will it stay in my collection? Yeah, it will. It will. You know what? I'm such a Luke Skywalker fan. I own so many different versions of this particular character that this one will have a home here as well. It is worth keeping. You know what? If I had to do it over again, would I order him? I don't know. I kind of think not. But nevertheless, it is decent. Worth the money? No. It should have been, for what you get here, this should have been in the $400 range, I think. But what do I know? I don't. This isn't my business. I don't price these things. I don't know what Sideshow's overhead is like. I can't tell them their business, but from a collector perspective, from a 20-year collector's perspective, this feels overpriced to me. But almost everything is overpriced. I mean, look at those arcade one-ups behind you. Those things were $300, and were those things overpriced? Hell yes. So I don't know. I guess it's all perspective.
Alrighty guys, and let's do a little compare and contrast here with this Empire Strikes Back premium format Luke Skywalker and Bespin fatigues. As you can see here, I've got the Luke Skywalker Farm Boy premium format figure. This figure came out, I believe, in 2005. It was actually, I believe this was the first Star Wars piece that Sideshow ever did. This is sort of a historical piece in that sense. The Comic-Con exclusive that came out that year had his Tatooine poncho and floppy hat, but that wasn't a version I was interested in. This is sort of an iconic statue. I always really enjoyed this piece just because of the iconic scene that it represents from Star Wars A New Hope, even though this particular piece now, what is that now, almost 14 years old, the face sculpt's held up decently. He looks okay, but nevertheless, here he is next to, of course, the Empire Strikes Back premium format Luke Skywalker, which we've just reviewed. And as you can see, yeah, you're right. You would be right if you'd assume that the head sculpts have come a long ways in that time, even though I'm not incredibly impressed with this one. It is still, far, far more superior to the A New Hope version, which came out in 2005. And then, of course, in 2009, the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker premium format came out. And the head sculpt on this one, which I always felt was sort of the standard bearer for Luke Skywalker figures. I always felt like this one looked really, really good. Still looks decent, but I don't know. I think this one does look a little better, and considering this one is 10 years newer. This thing came out in 2009. That's 10 years ago, guys. Can you believe it? 10 years ago. Or in this case, 8 years and 2 months before this one was previewed. So not gonna let that go. Really not gonna let that go. Now, nevertheless, here they all are together. This was another major reason why I hung on to this pre-order, even though I had my doubts, even though I had a lot of irritation with Sideshow over it. I kind of wanted to complete the trifecta here. Luke Skywalker in his hero's journey as pictured in the original trilogy, which, frankly, what other versions of Luke Skywalker would you ever want? In my opinion, there are none. Looking decent, looking really good. I have this saber lit up right now. I also have his green saber lit up. As you can see, this was back before they did full LEDs across the whole thing. There's a light inside of the hilt there, and it looks great up until about here, and then it dies out.
And there actually are new batteries in here, so this is a fresh look at this. So yeah, they have come a long ways in the lightsaber technology. I'm sorry, I'm just not getting the right light in here for this. Let's just turn off these studio lights one more time so you guys can kind of see a little bit better. But nevertheless, there they all are together, all three. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool. That is again, that is why I hung on to this, despite my reservations through the course of the last 1 year and several months.
Alrighty guys, well that's going to wrap up this edition of The Plastic Planet. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, I would hope, thorough review of the quarter scale, premium format, Bespin Luke Skywalker from Sideshow Collectibles, a piece that has been long awaited here. If this is the first time you've ever seen one of my videos, if this video brought you here to my channel for the first time, please do consider subscribing. I know I was a little more terse in this video than I usually am. I like to keep things very light, very humorous around here because, let's face it, this hobby deserves to be treated with a grain of salt. It's a goofball hobby that we have here, collecting plastic crap and memorabilia from our youth, and it deserves to kind of be not laughed at, but definitely laughed with. And that's exactly what I try to do here on The Plastic Planet, despite being a little grouchy in this particular video. So please do consider subscribing if this is the first time you've seen one of my channels. If you're a long-time subscriber, I just want to say thank you very much. You guys are awesome, and you guys know who you are, and I appreciate you guys every single day. It never can be said enough. It really can't be. Alright guys, like I said, that's going to wrap up this edition of The Plastic Planet. And like I always do like to say, guys, life is so very, very, very short. So get up there and fill it with some plastic crap. Or if you're feeling real deep, maybe some polystone crap. Although I did, I flex paid this sucker, guys. So I paid this thing off over the course of a year, so it wasn't so bad. I don't know. I don't know if this might be the last premium format piece I ever buy. It really might be. Never say never. It really might be. Alright guys, until next time. Later. Love you. Bye.